Isaberman 007. Update. Well, I can DEFC why Vroom has a loyal following lol. Item arrived without issue. I'm always a little concerned when I receive packages from vendors, because you just never know what the packaging looks like until it arrives. WOW packaging is the best I've received from ESA to date. Anyone who's received a package from Vroom knows what I mean. Product. Well, I don't know much about meth, only what I've read and seen online here. The crystals are very clear and glass-like. I have someone who's expert in meth, and I'll get his feedback. I'm hoping this blows him away. We are having sort of a Pepsi challenge, his against mine lol, we shall see who ends on top. Product weight was WAAAY over. He MSG'd me saying he would do that because of the delay. Wow, not used to getting freebies, especially around these parts, so that was a welcome sight when I placed it on the scale. Bottom line, regardless of his issues and the shipping delay, it was a seamless transaction. In fact, if he would just move the transaction from processing to in transit, I can pay him. Being a man of integrity, I would never cancel the order, so come on Vroom, mark it in transit so I can release funds. Title, VMMVV. Post by, Shot2H3LL. Ok, I read these posts and never ever take the initiative to post my opinion. I am always trying to decide who is not going to leave me stranded. To say it more bluntly, I am a stressing son of AB. Uncertainty and lack of control freak me out. I admit it. If you were to get a response from VMM or VV, they would corroborate. On this occasion I feel compelled to post a couple reviews. Why? Even though I am a worrying ball of stress, these two vendors came through and delivered. I expressed necessary time frame restrictions to keep safety at its highest. I expected to be met with resistance. I assume these vendors get the "I need it now" treatment from everyone who has a huge tolerance and an empty pocket. Yet, they both expressed an understanding and did what it took to make it happen. They each deserve a huge endorsement for putting up with my worry. VMM, I have done business with him before. I have read a few complaints recently about his integrity or honesty. Listen, your experience may have produced the feeling that you were treated with little regard. I understand anger and needing to get your pound of flesh to feel better. This is not the guy from whom you want to try extracting feel-good vengeance. He asked for an early finalize. I was jabberwocked and felt real uncomfortable about an early finalize. But, my experiences in the past told me that eventually VMM would make it happen. The price was better by far, so I went for it. Not only did he not leave me stranded, he made it happen in the necessary timeframe. He did not penalize my worrywart behavior. He did not have to, but he did go above and beyond to meet the need. I am sure he has plenty of business. Losing mine would not hurt the bottom line. Yet, he showed that he is a vendor who cares. He also showed that he does not say one thing and do another. He shipped it when he said. It arrived per expectations. The quality is fantastic and the quantity was all there, and then some. VMM is a vendor to be counted on. Any mishaps should be counted as an anomaly, not the norm. VV, first time I have done business with VV. I expressed the same time frame restrictions. I had the same expectation of resistance. Again, resistance was not my experience. VV communicated when things did not go as planned. Plan B met the need. I was never in the dark, which for a worrying bee like me is no good. The quality of his communication was superseded by his high-quality packaging. The product is also fantastic. This vendor is taking the steps necessary to establish the highest standard of customer service. I do not think you will find better service anywhere. Thank you for reading this post even though the length is excessive. I don't post at all. If I did more often, they would most likely be more concise. As to comparing the product of each, I am not able to say one is greater than the other. They are equally the best I can find. Let me say this as to quality: if you have complaints about either of these products, you need to choose a different substance to pursue. The quality is so high, there is no room for a negative comment on either product. Shot2H3LL. Post by Professor Twack. There are actually two reasons why a vendor's product is wet. 1. Recently cut and redone as crystal, as mentioned before. The solvent or chemical used has not dissipated completely. Always let dry, but particularly those who use insufflation to ingest sticks to the nasal cavity, and the supplier may even be a bit greedier and give it to the vendor while it is still drying from the cut process because it weighs more. Since it is wet, an ounce, for instance, could go up to 3 or so grams in favor of the vendor. 2. Another reason could be that one of the cartel's shipping methods is to dissolve crystal in some type of solvent and then dry it out once here in the US, and recrystallize it. That could be a pure product, but just needs to dry. However, this presents all the same issues mentioned above. So in either case, just let it dry. I would not want to ever receive a product still wet. In the old days, there were various reasons why meth would be wet, most of which were issues with the cook and the method she used or the chemicals they were substituting in their recipes. However, with the emergence of the clear crystal meth, these days it is really, really hard to tell the difference between good quality and super dope. You just have to try it. I don't care what anyone says. I've looked at thousands of shards, and heard at least 100 different reasons why this shard is good because of this. Substitute bullshit aesthetic characteristic, is why a shard is cut or not cut. American-made meth is almost a thing of the past. I am able to secure it from American sources about 1/4 of the time, and I've been around for quite a while, and been to a lot of trailer parks, and besides it only makes sense. The cartels can get the chemicals much easier. It's too bad though. Anytime you can keep a drug out of the cartel drug mainframe, and the subsequent attempts to increase profit by dilution of product by lower level links in the chain, or nodes in nerdspeak, then that is a good thing. It was better when it was American-made, but it was less consistent IMHO. Good luck, and I will not take this opportunity to shill. Post by Harpua25. I keep thinking that Vroom Vroom can't possibly impress me more than he already has, but then he somehow manages to do so after every interaction I have with him. It's truly amazing how well he treats his customers. Title: Dub G means magic. Post by Pare. Finally, I received my wonderful crystals from Dub G this Monday. It took exactly 20 days from placed order, 17 or 18 days from in transit. This because he had the flu, which is fully understandable. Plus, the country I am currently living in is in Europe with all the chocolate etc. Had a small issue that has been solved nicely by Mr. Dub G, not to scare anyone from buying from him. It was nothing serious at all. Packaging was smart and the product looked and tasted wonderful. Never seen shards that size except on different forums and in documentaries. Before this Monday I had never tried American meth, only meth from 5 different countries in Asia. Did quite a lot when I lived there, and I have to say that I got another feeling from the Asian meth than this. A more wow sensation with extreme craving for sex and hours of talk and walks along the beach at night. Over there I smoked with water bong, the Asian style, but from time to time I used a meth pipe. And of course it is more or less impossible to get one over here, so I had to make myself a light bulb, which I think is one of the reasons why I do not get that wow, as I have no experience with bulbs, so I might be doing it wrong, burning it for too long etc. I feel good after smoking it though, but I have decided to skip the bulb as it feels like a waste when the product is so far away. And I am pretty sure that I cannot find an expert in bulbs over here, and Google is not much of a help, to be honest. What would you guys do if you were in my situation? The plan is to go nuts tomorrow over the weekend with my wife by sharing a shard at 0.5 grams. Should we snort it? Swallow it? Foil method? Haven't used foil about 5 years, so it would most probably result in waste of a good product. By the way, I know that I have not really followed topic all out, but I decided to combine the review with some questions. My main goal for future use is to get a pipe googly smile again. I will definitely use Dub G again, and I highly recommend him and his quality product. Over and out. Pare. Tweaking since 5 minutes after the delivery of the magic package googly smile. Post by Harpua25. I'd smoke it. Vaping it out of a bulb will almost certainly waste less than smoking it off of foil. Just keep the flame a little distance from the glass and keep the liquefied meth moving around. Post-buy, Fearless Freep. 2 days of air drying didn't seem to help, maybe it needed a professional drying method. The store made good though. Post-buy, Buyer 4350550. I actually ordered 0.25 g of Xanax powder. Since VMM stuff seems to be legit from the forums, I am guessing I accidentally snorted 0.25 g of Xanax. I am sorry to mislead everyone. If this is the case, I still haven't received the methamphetamine. Post-buy, Harpua 25. Ha. That makes a little more sense. Post-buy, MSWEEN 27. Yeah, that clears things up. I was thinking that no one could be that tolerant to meth. I've had problems with multiple orders of white powder arriving all in the same day. Then wondering which one was which. Could be dangerous. Post-buy, X8MX. 250 milligrams of alprazolam A. You should really research your drugs more before you use them, seriously. That's overdose territory for Xanax. You're lucky it seemingly wasn't very pure, otherwise you would have had a bit more than a good night's sleep. Post-buy, Johnny Boy 91. You said you railed 0.5 though? But you had only ordered 0.25 of Xanny powder, so don't see how you railed double what you bought. Post-buy, Buyer 4350550. Well, I don't have a scale, so I thought I was railing 0.5 g of meth. Turned out I railed 0.25 g of Xanax powder. Vortex told me the product would arrive Monday since I finalized on the 7th, so I falsely assumed that was what it was, although his has yet to arrive for a long time now. Also 250 isn't a lethal dose. The LD50 in rats is insanely high. But I was out for at least 24 hours in a comatose-like state and still groggy the next day. However, sorry to derail the thread guys. Post-buy, Star Baby. I would like to say first that I agree that all batches will be different. I myself got a bad batch from Vortex Milkman. You may hit it good and maybe not. But what is more important in decision-making on whom to deal with will be communication, and with that being said, after trying all the vendors, my number one GOESTO Professor Twack. He's honest, his communication is superb, and I have yet to get a bad batch from this vendor. So my hat goes off to this vendor for overall. Post-buy, Micah Bourbon. Does everyone have to finalize early for VMM? He placed my order in transit without asking me to finalize early, and it doesn't say anything about it on his vendor page or product page. I PM'd him asking him if I needed to and still no response, so I'm assuming I don't. I have purchasing stats of 40 and 0 refund rate and 0 auto-finalize rate. I really hope he actually shipped it out when he says he did, because that means it may be coming today or tomorrow. But I'm sure I'll get a message in a day or so telling me I need to finalize early, huh? Fingers crossed. Post-buy, MSWEEN 27. I placed an order with VMM a couple of weeks ago, and after it was put in transit he PM'd me and kindly asked me if I would FE. He didn't demand I do so, and I didn't feel like I had to. I FE'd because I sympathize with the fact that vendors have a lot of money tied up in product and escrow. He was an established vendor, so I was not nervous about FE. Order was received fine. Total transactions, 20 total spent. 106.81 refund rate, 0 auto-finalize rate, 0 member for 2 months. Post-buy, you will never know. I can tell everyone honestly, and after trying every domestic vendor's product that has been available to me, Professor Twack has the best product quality of all the stuff I've tried. The closest that has come to it was Heisenberg's and SRDP, to the lucky few that got in on that product run. By the way, what the fuck ever happened to SRDP? I prefer snorting it, and I really in all honesty felt the rush and couldn't even think about railing another one for hours. It wasn't jittery at all and just made me feel good. I know everyone has their preferences, but I'm giving my honest opinion after having a good go of each of the vendors' gear. I had time to come down and would have passed a piss test, for meth, in between the times of testing batches. so there was no overlap. I know what I got was overweight, but it seriously lasted me damn near a whole week. On top of everything, you get great communication, super fast shipping, and the nicest guy you can imagine. Did I mention you get hooked the fuck up? I did anyway for a very, very slight shipping delay. I think like 1 day or something lol. Well worth my wait. I am planning my next order now. Whether you're gonna smoke, snort, or shoot it, the professor has what it takes to get the job done without any extra drama. I have racked my brain to think of a negative aspect of Professor Twack's transaction product, but honestly I could not. I think that we have a great addition to the SR community that I hope will stick around for a long time to come. I can't wait for this next shipment. Post buy, you will never know. And to add one more thing, you guys need to remember that Professor Twack is a new vendor that provides veteran vendor quality. Yet another reason to make he she your got to guy girl. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. I'm happy to hear that the professor is an honest person so far. I look forward to trying him out. Has anyone received meth from the store and tested it yet? Someone sent me a private message about them that has me a little worried. I've not ordered from them yet so I don't know anything for sure. If anyone has tried the store's meth though I would like to hear about it. Post buy, you will never know. It wasn't terrible, but it didn't smoke right. I can tell you if I had a choice, it's a no-brainer for the professor. Post buy, Nomad Bloodbath. Professor Twack. March 24th. I missed the post office deadline for shipping on Friday evening. Anyone who paid for express shipping on Friday, I apologize. You will be compensated. Working through some things. I hope that no one's Saturday was ruined, but I made some exceptions for some customers and it put me behind. I'll just have to stick to my guns on the express deadline going forward. If you paid for express yesterday, domestic, it will arrive on Monday. Seems to be acting not as professional as advertised. Also I don't really like reading finalized early for a trusted vendor. Eastwen said vendor is 18 days old. As a twacker I expect more from my vendor. I more than anyone loves to be proven wrong but I feel like Professor Twack is gonna get overshadowed unless shop is tightened up. Nomad Bloodbath. Post by, DK Monk. I ordered from Professor Twack today and he really went a little above to act mad at me and has been a pretty good guy to talk to. So far the vendor is making me feel good about the order. I gave him extra money to ensure I get my package next Friday, as I want it on that day, so we will see if that happens. If it doesn't I will be really pissed. I'm trying his coke and meth, so we'll let you guys know how it goes, but so far I'm pretty stand-up guy in my limited experience. Post by, Professor Twack. Well, I'm not sure that missing a shipping deadline should be considered unprofessional. The APC was broken and I was late. That's about it. It sucks but I should remind any buyers that, 1. My product is always tested by ME and it will always be top-notch. 2. I include priority shipping for free. 3. My stuff is usually over, and in the case of a mistake, I'm late or something, I usually put almost double. 4. I'm cordial, honest, and easy on the eyes. 5. Sometimes, I'm funny. But yeah, I'm a tweaker and not perfect but I'll still be somebody's favorite vendor, cause I'm pretty consistent and I'm real. Keep them orders coming and I'll keep getting better. Post by, Hillybilly 2. Personally I am starting to question the vortex and reading these posts I cannot be the only one after weeks of the special sale and all early finalize are not good signs for a tweaker high volume salesman. My order is now slipping over 10 days in US and early finalized. Now I hear all you great vets who stick up for the guy. But admit it your radar has been tuned in now after all the drama and knowing the product and the users of it. I trust all is well but the numbers are slipping here as well Hilly. Post by, DK Monk. I have never ordered from VMM, but have sent him 3 messages with questions, and although he reads them he never responds which pissed me off, and I will never order from him. I'm very nice and sincere, a simple no, or short answer would be nice. I like Vroom even though I can't get a hold of him currently. He has a feel-good vibe to him, but I wonder why he sometimes says I will ship shortly and the next day still hasn't shipped. It is irritating, but I understand he is going through some health complications. Post by X8MX. First off, let me say I am not a vet as I have only been here 3 months, however this is my experience. I can understand your frustration. I was you a few days ago and had given up all hope. Sent BMM a semi-nasty PM only to find it in my mailbox a few minutes later, 11 days total to Eastern USA. I agree the shipping times leave something to be desired, needed and fiended. I was stressing and getting paranoid over stupid shit, but he did deliver and I had an IV slam and bowl hit and blast. It's good stuff, just be prepared to wait a bit. I cannot compare quality to others here on the road, just locally, which is a joke. In the grand scheme of things how can I complain too much? I'm having totally illegal quality products sent straight to my door. Only thing is if you need the gear by a certain time, by the weekend, shit like that, might wanna PM him first. This was my first and only order from him to date. Post by Hillybilly 2. Okay, I realize my hide-up post does sound like whining. It is, but also more of a statement of opinion as well. Now I am really getting a bit worn reading that same stale statement, hey at the internet blah blah. Yet all cavalier and new with this type of shopping. This has been going strong for a while now and always get better and better. The notion of free market is fantastic and should allow such commentary in all fairness. Now I am not going over the top and freaking and sending out curse-filled tirades. Also I know all too well the type of people who are engaged in these activities here and in real life. This is my second order with VMM and actually is looking exactly the same as the last one unfortunately. I am sure he will deliver although going incommunicato. The fact is eventually someone with some sense of business and treating the customer right will appear. At least I hope. All of communications with VMM has been more on the kiss ass side than accusatory or of that nature. It is silly to not be nice and friendly when resolving issues. In fairness, after quietly watching all the drama a month ago when I ordered or maybe 2 months ago, I am old and time gets away, and he made it nice and over and great product. I hope it does arrive early next week or whenever, but the fact is I only pay money here that I can write off. My own greediness over the attractive price and the memory of the sweet product made me order the second time and the knowledge it would take forever. But I cannot lie, watching the forums and the kinds of post and amount of negative flow and the vendor obvious frustration and kindly attitude a bit concerning. No one is perfect and no vendor of this material has shown flawless behavior. It is what it is. That does not change the fact that some of us could hope for better. Now my wife will be pissed to know how much money I just winged out there so casually, but I will move along and take care of my needs and desires. Personally, just like my doctor's office and other vendor of things we need in life, I am sick of being a pussy and taking when the fact is I am the consumer and you are the provider. The basic principle of this concept should mean that I as the consumer pay the price while the vendor makes the profit. The consumer has the obligation to take care of himself and explore all options and remember who wags the tail here. Peace Hilly. Post by Nomad Bloodbath. If people want customer service from their meth vendor I suggest Vroom Vroom. I placed my second order with him early this morning and there is no doubt in my mind that I will have that order Tuesday in my little freebase pipe. Nomad Bloodbath. Post by DK Monk. He is usually great on customer service, but this week must have been hectic for him, because I have sent 2 messages, the first one being about 3 days ago wondering if my package shipped, because Monday or Tuesday he said it would shortly, and I didn't get my package this weekend, but since his health problems I am not too worried, but still really expected it Friday or Saturday, because I can only do it on the weekend. Post by Nomad Bloodbath. VMM meth last week was some of the best I had from Essa, the kind that never goes away until shadow people pain kicks in window. If I haven't confirmed my order with Vroom Vroom by bedtime I will be buying from VMM. Hell, I might even cause more problems over at the Heisenberg household, because the man is a connoisseur. Nomad Bloodbath. Post by Invisibleman007. Indeed. It's funny because I was going to order from VMM, before ordering from Vroom. However, by the time VMM answered my PM, I had decided to go with Vroom based on the customer service he was providing. Even through the midst of all the issues he was having, I was compensated with extra product and next day shipping. I still do not understand why we as customers have to just sit down and take terrible customer service. I'm in the user. If the vendor is domestic as well, it shouldn't take longer than 7 days from the time item has been placed in the mailbox. Anything longer, domestic, than that is unacceptable, unless the vendor informs you ahead of time of delays. How hard can this be? Have product in stock, and ship when you say you are going to ship. Keep your packaging up to speed. I mean, you're not giving us freebies here. We are paying you. You are making money off us, the least vendors, this is not directed to VMM or anyone in particular, can do is have it in stock and ship when they say they will. Overwhelmed? Can't handle the influx of orders? Hire help, don't accept more orders, do something, but paid customers shouldn't have to wait an obscene period of time. That's why I loved Fimville and I appreciated how they did business. I also understand why they took a break to retool the business. They were the best, to me, all-around vendor. Communications, shipping speed product. My advice is simple, PM a vendor and ask them their turnaround time. If a vendor is honest, he will reply honestly. Stick to tried and true vendors. Search the forums, and when you see more than 2 or 3 people complaining, proceed with caution, and finally, if you have an issue with a vendor, contact them first, before posting "X-vendor scammed me, capish?" Post by DK Monk. In your opinion, does Heisenberg top both VMM and Vroom in quality? I know they're all great, but just curious. Post by Scampany. I DK about Nomad but have experience with these 3 vendors. Heisenberg sent great 3x better than Street Meth to me. I've noticed VMM batches being very variate to me. One batch STR8 off the street, the next high quality shit. Vroom had above street level meth. It wasn't the best around, but it was clean and kept my glass dick stainless. I'd say meth is always gonna be an unpredictable purchase unless you get the valued word from the proverbial horse's mouth. Post by Nomad Bloodbath. Well, hello Miss Company. I'd pretty much agree with this newbie, though from the talk she sounds experienced. Have you ever been experienced? Well, I have. Thank you Mr. Jimi Hendrix, Nomad Bloodbath. Post by DK Monk. I am excited to try Professor Twok next week. I just got a 1/4 gram and can't wait to put it in the rig and blast off. Also, I am trying Vrooms again, hopefully if it comes this week. Supposedly a new and slightly better batch. The best and cheapest I had was a vendor on Black Market Reloaded named T3, but he went AWOL after my first order. I really want his shit again. I did about 1/3 of what I would do with Vrooms and it gave me a better rush, and Vroom has good shit, but this was crazy good. Heisenberg's will be my next try, because I need to try what in general consensus around here is the best stuff on SR. Post by Nomad Bloodbath. Well, I'd see a day to make this at least interesting. I now have VMM versus Vroom in my orders. We will see which is faster. Tomorrow is a whole new day. Nomad Bloodbath. Post by Leo the Lion. Well, I decided to jump in. I'm usually not a forum kind of chick, but I have such a lonely, empty feeling right now. You know that feeling when you buy meth from a guy and it is just absolutely fucking fantastic? Then you buy it again and it is even better than the first batch? Then you get excited and put in an 8-ball of Friday for you and your party friends, but a week goes by and it does not show, then another week. I was sure it was going to be in Saturday's mail, but now I fear something has happened to him. This miracle meth I am referring to came from the beloved Vortex Milkman, who I had grown to love based on his correspondence, and now he is totally gone. He did not send me my 8-ball, and really at this point that is okay. I don't even care, I can buy from someone else, but I worry that he got into trouble or something. Let me know whatever is going on if you know. I hope he did not ditch me when he figured out I am a chick going by line. Hee. Shit, seriously, I hope he is okay. LTL. Post by, Torn. One thing about a dry spell, all those orders made at 2 a.m. hoping that someone has to ship something sometime, all those orders delayed by the shitstorm du jour, they'll just appear on your doorstep at the same time like some kind of drug blitzkrieg. I now have the distinct pleasure of VMM versus Vroom versus H at the same time. All three products are great and all three vendors have given amazing service and all have taunted me with delayed shipping at one time or another for whatever reason. Regardless, I wouldn't hesitate buying product from any one of them as they've all made it right in the end. I think Priscilla posted somewhere that there's some amount of quality variability that you just can't control or blame on the vendor. I agree with that 100. With that said, while my current batches from H and VMM are very much on par with each other and what I've had in the past, my current batch from Vroom is on the amazing side of that unpredictable product variability. Yeah. I'm done typing now, I have better things to do at the moment.